Hey everyone, Mr. Brusco back again with a new OctoStudio project. This one is one that we are doing with my first graders. This is their second OctoStudio project, and it's similar to our first. It's going to be a catch game with slightly different parameters. So I'm going to begin by choosing a sprite, and the goal of this is to catch something that is falling down vertically. So things like a basket work really well. Or a table, things falling off walls or whatever it might be. I've done lots of variations on this. We are going to do the basket one, and we're going to call this one a fruit basket. So somewhere in here is a fruit basket, if I can, or a basket, if I can find it. Let's see, where are you at? Okay, oh, there it is. All right, so I'm going to select my basket, and then I'm going to select my background, and let's do the forest here, like fruit trees. It looks kind of tropical with palm trees, so we're going to work with that. So I'm going to take my basket, I'm going to bring it to the bottom, and the first thing we want to happen is we want a title, and we want our basket to, I just shrunk it by the way, to move just left to right, but not up and down on a tilt command. So we're going to begin by dragging in a title. Let's see. So we're going to say welcome, but we're not going to say welcome. We're going to say fruit catch. And let's pick a new color, something, oh, that's good. Put it in the middle. You can change the font as well, but I'm just going to roll with this for now. So say fruit catch for 2 seconds, and then we are going to put a tilt to move command in, which is automatically in a forever loop. And we're going to switch this to left to right. When we hit play, it says fruit catch, and our basket should go left to right. Perfect. Okay. And eventually we're going to have some falling fruit. So next thing we're going to do is find our fruit that's going to be falling. So we're going to hit the sprite emoji, and we're going to add 3 pieces of fruit. This is kind of like a tropical scene, so let's try to find some tropical fruit. So we've got I knew I saw some pineapple and coconut and all that good stuff here. Where'd it go? There we go. So we've got a banana's open. I don't want the banana. It's open like that. Where the heck is the coconut? Maybe it's in my recent ones. No. All right, well, let's just do the banana to start. Okay. Oh, here we go. Kiwi. Let's do a kiwi. Let's add another one. Coconut. There it is. I'm finally finding it. And then we have a pineapple. Kiwi, coconut, pineapple. I know we do. Pineapple. Okay. So I've got 3 tropical fruits. And now these are my good fruits. I'm going to shrink them. Okay. And we also want to have a bad thing that you don't want to catch. So I've done like a spider or something like that. You can also draw things, but today let's just do a spider. So where is my spider? There it is up on the top. Okay, spider. All right, here we go. 4 items, all up above. All are going to come down. We want to catch the fruit. We don't want to catch the spider. Okay, so let's start with one of the fruit codes. And let's start with the kiwi. The goal of the fruit code is to have it randomly pick a location along the top and then fall down vertically. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to say when we start the game, and I am going to add in a 2-second wait here. And the reason I want a 2-second wait is because we did a 2-second title at the beginning. So this way the fruit doesn't fall until the title is finished running. So wait 2 seconds, and then in a forever loop, and this is going to be a little bit tricky here. We want our item, and we need another wait. I'm going to show you why. Because we don't want them all to fall at the same time. We want them to pick a random time. Otherwise, they'll all constantly be falling together, and that won't make the game very fun. So this dice code we're going to use quite a bit. That's the random code. I'm going to drag this up into that wait, and I'm going to select 2 to 6 seconds. So that the fruit will pick a random time between 2 to 6 seconds before it falls again. And then I'm going to pick the go to code. All right. So go to, and I'm going to drop it in here. Then I am going to select the icon for location, and I'm going to tap the X. This is probably the hardest part of this whole project. And then I'm going to tap the dice. So I want to pick a random X, which is the left to right. And then for the Y, I'm going to go in here and it's going to actually pull the code for the location it's at. See how it says 163? I believe the top is 180 and the bottom is 0. So I'm going to make this just a little higher. Just do 165. Okay, and I'm going to change this to lightning. I want it to go there like immediately. Then I'm going to drag in a show code with a lightning. And then I'm going to go back in and drag in a move code. And I want it to move down 160. Okay. And then I want a hide code and lightning again. And the net effect of this is that when I hit the play, that kiwi should in a random interval come down and disappear. Everybody see that? And then it's going to pop up again in a random 2 to 6 second interval. Perfect. The reason I need these show and hides is because even if I didn't do that, it would shoot back up to a location and there's a chance it would hit the basket and give you another point. So we got to show it and hide it there. Okay, cool. Now all I'm going to do is duplicate this code to all of my other sprites except for the basket. I'm going to give it to the spider as well, although I'm going to change the spider slightly. So let's go to the spider. The only thing I want to change with the spider code is I actually want the spider to move down more slowly. So I'm going to go to the move down code and I'm going to change this to the slow foot. And the reason I want to do that, let's start it and see, is that it actually makes the game more difficult when you do that. Because the spider is going to eventually, see him on the left there? He's moving more slowly, and it makes it harder for you to catch the fruit when he's going slowly, because you got to go like underneath him and get away from him, and then you miss a fruit. So that's why we do that. Okay. All right. So you might have seen some of the fruit going at the same time. That's just plain randomness. They just happen to pick the same amount of seconds. So the longer the game goes, the more disaligned they will get. So don't worry about it. Okay. So we got that. Now, if you notice, they are not disappearing yet. So what we need to do is we need to now go into each one of these icons. Well, let's not do the spider because that one's slightly different. So back to the kiwi. We're going to tell the kiwi, when you touch the basket, we want you to, we haven't gotten to the score yet, but let's do change the score by 1, okay? And then we can make a sound. And let's do a sound. Not chomp, because we're not eating it. So just pick something fast here. Let's see, whoosh maybe. Okay, all right. So, and we're going to bring a hide code in as well. And let's put the hide above the whoosh. I always do and continue with those, but sometimes the students will forget, and that's where you want to put the hide above because otherwise it'll wait for the sound before it hides it. All right, so now we can just duplicate this code over to our coconut and our pineapple. Okay. We don't actually want it on the spider for obvious reasons. Okay, when we get to the spider, we do need something similar for the spider. So when the spider touches the basket, this is when we are going to do the game over. You lose. Okay? Oh, come on. Stop dragging. There we go. Okay. And this is going to say game over. Okay, drag it down the middle. You can change fonts and colors, but for the meantime, I'm not going to do anything there. Okay, and then you can put a sound if you'd like. And I'll do uh-oh. and then I will do the stop all code. Okay? All right, so that ends our game. So far, so good. Let's go back to our main character, the basket. There's a few more things we want to do with the basket here. One thing, and we can do this in this code, or we can create a new play code, but it's totally fine to do it in this code. We are going to reset our variable, set our score back to 0, okay? And now we need to find a you win point. So in the forever loop, just like we did in our last game, we are going to bring in a if then statement, constantly looking for if the score is equal to 20, then we will say you win. Put it in the middle. Once again, you can make it fancier if you like. And we'll put some sound. And we'll have to say chimes was probably okay. Or there's probably clapping. We can do the clapping, the cheering. Okay. And continue. And then stop all. Okay. One thing to keep in mind here, and there's a complex way to fix this, but it's a little bit above our second graders. As we're doing this is, you can see, was about 5 seconds of time before it stops the game, which means during that 5 seconds, this spider could still end the game, right? So we got to keep that in mind, right? So if they stop paying attention and the spider hits the basket, these codes will conflict while we're waiting for those sounds. So there's a way to fix that, but it's a little bit advanced. So we're just going to let it be the case, and if it happens, it can be a lesson in programming. All right, so if you wanted to, you could stop the game right now. Perfectly functional catch game. Catch the tropical fruit, avoid the spider. Okay, it's working just as intended. Score goes up. I'll catch the spider on purpose on the next one. Here it comes. Let's see what happens when I catch a spider. Game over. Here we go. Now, what we're going to do right now is add a level 2 to the game. So let's look at how we are going to do that. Very similar to the way we did it in the other project. So we are going to now hit this and pick another background. So maybe it's going to be, I don't know, let's just go with the mushrooms for now. Okay, so we're back to the fruit game with the mushrooms and the basket. Everything is pretty much the same, but just like before, we are going to now add something that happens when the backdrop switches. And we are also going to bring in a code for the set backdrop. Where did it go? Set backdrop. Okay, so instead of the stop all here, we are now going to set our backdrop there, and we are going to stop this script. Actually, before I do that, let me duplicate this because we're going to need it. Okay, so now, set backdrop, stop this script now, and we are going to, instead of saying you win, we're going to say level 2. Okay. If you wanted to, you can move the set backdrop higher here, or the cheering down, but I think it's okay. You can play around with that. All right. So now, when the backdrop switches, reset our score. We don't need this other text. Let's get rid of this. And then the same forever loop. We will keep the you win and the cheering, and we will ditch that, and then have stop this script change to stop all. Okay, so now that ends the game. Although level 2 is not any more difficult than level 1, so we got to find a way to make level 2 a little bit more difficult. So you can do that in a number of ways. I would say you just add an entirely new bad sprite, and let's pick that. So let's go and let's add another sprite. And instead of the spider, let's pick a bee. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. So we got a spider and a bumblebee. It's going to sting you. Okay. Now, bumblebee should get almost entirely the same code as the spider. So let's just go back to the spider and let's duplicate all of these codes. Oh, not duplicate, my bad. Copy script to. Copy script to the bee. And this one, copy script to the bee. Okay. So now if we go to our bee should be doing the same exact thing as our spider, although there is one thing that we need to do, and that is we need to make this bee hide when we start the game, and we need all of this to happen when we switch the backdrop. Okay, so this is, if you watch my other video, very similar. So now when we start the game, we are going to hide with the lightning that bee, and then when the backdrop switches, we are going to show with the lightning that bee. Other than that, everything else should operate exactly the same. So if I hit the start sign right, the button to start right now, bee disappears. Perfect. And then we are on level 1, and I try to get to 20 points without touching the spider. Oh, now I'm stuck over here because of that spider. Okay, 3. Okay. Almost got it. 6, 7. Oh, there's that spider again. Ugh. You can play with some of the speed settings, like make the basket move faster left to right, or make the fruit move slower. I think this is adequately difficult, to be honest. But it's up to you. Actually, if you make the basket move faster, it actually is harder because it slides so quickly, you can slide it right into the spider. Okay, level 2, perfect. So that bee should appear. Uh-oh, forgot some stuff here. This is why we test it. Aha, I know why. We stopped that script. Gotta go back to the basket. Okay, this is why we test. Set variable to 0. Oh, I know what it is. All right. Minor error. Right here, I dragged this in, but I didn't actually switch it to that background. Okay. Let's see if I did that to the bee as well. Yep. No, the bee should be fine. Okay. So show, wait 2 seconds, forever. All right, I think we're good now. All right. So that is how we get the game to run. I don't know if there's anything else. So that's our 2-level fruit catching basket game. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Bye.